Alright everyone, this is a Tuesday night, the 31st of October, and I'm going to start working on my Amiga A600 motherboard, okay? Now, fingers crossed, wish me well. I've never done or undertaken anything like this before really. In some respects it's quite simple, it's only removing and replacing some capacitors. But in other respects it's a bit daunting because there's lots of little fiddly components in there on that board, and it could be quite easy to damage them, I'm guessing. So what we have here tonight is not an instructional video, far from it, but maybe you may learn something from my mistakes. I've bought myself a cheap set of tweezers, would you believe, from China, specifically for doing this sort of work. It seems to be easier than using fingers and thumbs on these small components. You know, the capacitors you could probably maybe get away with just using your fingers, but anything smaller than that would be impossible. Now, what we have here excuse me, is the old capacitor for this position here. This position here is C303, okay, and this is C304. So this was the capacitor. I removed it the other night, and it went on. Oops. You've got to be quite careful of the orientation of these things. I don't know if you'll focus on this, but on the top of the capacitor there's a coloured area. Now this determines the negative side, okay? So on the motherboard here, the positive is indicated, so obviously this side must be the positive, and it would go onto the motherboard, and indeed it was on the motherboard. And oops, see what I mean? Fiddly. In that orientation right there. So I've got the pack of capacitors from Refurbisment, and I just need to find the correct one. I believe a C304 and 303 are both the same, so what I'll likely do is I'll remove C304 first before soldering on two new capacitors in its place. Just tip them out there, in fact, it'll be easier to get to. I think I'll just check the documentation. It makes it a lot easier. Right, 303 and 304 are listed as 22 μF, 35 volts. So that's these ones. They're marked on the sheet here in white circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and indeed we have 3, 4, 5 of them here. So these are the ones I need in. These little buggers, right. So I'll set them there for now. And I think I will just take that other one off. Now it says here, however, if you have a revision 1.3 or 1.5 board, which I do, check their original and be careful of the orientation on C304. Ah, now there you go. That was a good little heads up, because on my, this is C303 and that's C304, okay? Now, C303 has the negative pointing to you, and on this documentation the negative is also pointing to you on 303. But the 304 capacitor is shown as having the negative on that side, while mine has the negative on this side. So that must be a revision change for later models of the circuit board. We'll see if I can make out the revision on this particular board. Where is it? I think this is revision 2.0. Right, so yeah, 2.0 I just said there. So anyway, right, I'm going to pause it now, folks, while I busy myself with this. In fact, no, I won't pause it, I'll just crack on with it, I think. But there's a good probability that my video will run out of time at some point, because I am quite bad for talking and blethering and not remembering to restart the video. Okay, that's the soldering iron tinned. And although I have very limited experience at this, what I have found is that putting a bit of fresh solder on the joints does help. If you can get into it. It's not very easy, I'll give you that. And it's going to be even worse on the other side. We've got a little wee integrated circuit right beside it. I don't know how the hell I meant to do that, actually. Oh, that was easy. That was very easy. So, what do I have to do now? I will have to take the solder off of the pads that's left and give it a clean, I guess. Okay. Now you'll not be getting a very good view of that. I've got a magnifying glass set up just above the work here to help in seeing what I'm doing. So next isopropanol alcohol, or rubbing alcohol, however you want to call it. I hate these child-proof caps. They're bloody adult-proof. Oh, come on, for the love of fuck. Christ almighty. There we go. So. I don't need much of it. Oops. I don't really know if this is all necessary, but I hope it doesn't do any harm. So that's looking a bit dirtier than it was, so I must have picked up some dirt from the remnants of the solder. But I am thinking that they were leaving fine hairs from the cotton bud on the board. Well, we're almost 15 minutes into this video already. So I'll stop it there, I think, and then I'll resume in a second or two when I start the soldering. So bye for now, folks, and catch you in a second.